Hey y'all, it's Shelly. I am coming to you with a project for my friend Dawn, her and I kind of have a constant swap going on. We just alter items for each other. She's not on YouTube or anything, but if you go back through, or she doesn't upload videos, if you go back through some of my older videos, you'll probably see a couple of things that she sent to me. The last thing she sent me was just this awesome frame, and we both like steampunk, so I have hoarded my steampunk debutante paper for as long as I've had it, and I have little by little started to do her projects with the steampunk debutante paper. And I think we had talked about what she wanted me to do for her next, I believe. I'm not absolutely 100% positive, but for some reason anyway, I had it in my mind that she wanted an altered book stack, and I cheated a little bit. I didn't do drawers and everything like Miranda and all of them have been doing. I found these books at Michael's, and they were on clearance, and I've had them for a really long time, and they were already pretty. I wish I had taken pictures of them before so you could see them, but I did completely cover them. There's nothing of the original books left except on the sides here and on the back, and I'll show you that when I get to it. But I didn't do the drawers, I just left it so that these would open up. Now that did create a challenge when I went to embellish it. I had to make sure every embellishment that I put the book would still, open up on each level, so to speak, each row of books. So let me get started, and maybe I won't miss anything. I'm going to try to go pretty fast because I need to get this boxed up and mailed to her since I'm late for her birthday. But this first book, I just wrapped some steampunk debutante paper around it. This was a scrap that I had, and I really didn't like the way it kind of sat on the book, so I went ahead and I already had it on there, so I didn't really have a choice. Before I done any of this too, I also used black gesso to cover the tops and the spines of the books. I didn't do any of the edges or the sides because they were already fine. But then I covered it with that paper. I wrapped it around, and I didn't really like the way the little ridges on the books looked, so I covered those with this really dainty crochet trim, and I thought it was black, and then when I got it on there I was like, man, that's like a dark navy, but it's okay, it works. And this bottom book, I mean, it really doesn't have anything special except right here where I put a gear, a chipboard gear from the Tim Holtz die, and then I put two metal gears right here from the Tim Holtz collection. And then this is one of the watch key, clock keys. And then I had a little, just right here, I stuffed in a little piece of broken gear that I had cut it in half. I'm not really sure how well it's going to stay, but maybe it'll stay in there for her when she gets it. And I'm going to bring that just a little closer so you can see. And on the gears, I just painted them with like a kind of like a tan colored paint, and then I distressed them up with distress ink and some smooch, the accent inks that are in like the little fingernail polish looking bottles, and then there's that little gear I was talking about, and then there's and I did paper underneath too, and then there's the little. And then the bottom is just, this is some communique paper, but I liked it and thought it went well. So then, going up to the next book, I have a Teresa Collins clock two porcelain flowers, one on each side, that I got from Craft Supplies 1, and then this is a wild orchid craft flower in the middle. If you need to know sizes or anything, just let me know. Then coming around, this is just a butterfly that I fussy cut. This is a strip of paper underneath, and then one of the stamps from the paper collection. Then this effect here, I painted it with like a sponge, and then I just sponged over it some of that smooch accent ink and kind of rubbed it around just to get it the look and the color that I wanted. Then coming around to here, this is another gear that I did the same thing to as I did that other one. And then this is a wild orchid craft flower that I took apart. It was a it was actually part of this flower right here, and I just kind of wanted the bud right there, so I took these pieces off of it, and this was the original color of that flower. Then I set another fussy cut butterfly in the middle, and then back here it has a light bulb, and this is some that I got off of Etsy. They're not the Tim Holtz ones, so they have this really cool burnt out silvery effect. And then there's another one of those wait, actually no, that's a Recollections flower right there. And then I have some chain here, and it doesn't affect the opening and closing of the book. Then I have, I kind of wished I hadn't went around this one. I liked it more plain. This is a Wild Orchid Craft flower, and these are Wild Orchid Craft rose buds. And then there's some little, right here is a tiny light bulb, and then there's a tiny light bulb. These are also from Etsy. This piece, I cut it, it was one piece, I cut it in half, and that's from Saw Crafter's Zibbet store. And then here's another piece of chipboard gear that I just cut and stuffed underneath there. Then back around to here, another light bulb, those Wild Orchid Craft buds that I took apart, then another porcelain flower from Craft Supplies 1, a gear from Bead Landing that you used to get at Michael's. I don't know if they still have them or not. Then another one of those buds, another tiny light bulb. That's another one of those Bead Landing gears. This is another porcelain flower. This keyhole came from Sky Blue Pink. It was like a eyelet, and I cut that off the side. And then this is from Craft Supplies 1, and this is a flat back pearl that I need to clean up the glue around from Want to Scrap. Okay, then on this side of the top I also have some more chain that also doesn't affect the opening and closing. This is just a little jar from Saw Crafter's store, and it has a silver lid, so I have mixed and matched all different colors of metal tones, and it has some fuses in there, some tiny screws from my old iPhone that I demolished that I hated, and some tiny washers and things like that. Then we come around to the back. This bottom one is just plain, except it has the chain and doesn't affect the opening and closing. It does kind of get stuck to the magnet right there, because these books close by magnets. Then here you have a Craft Supplies 1 flower, and this is one of those like with latex on it. They're really cool. They hold their shape great. And then this is another Wild Orchid Craft. This is Wild Orchid Crafts. That is another one of those Bead Landing gears. Another one of those large light bulbs that I got from Etsy. That's all burnt out and cool. And then another gear from Bead Landing. This is a die cut from the paper collection, and another two flatbacks from Want to Scrap. Then up here I just bent this piece and tucked it right there on the side. It just kind of looked blank to me back here, which it is the back, but you know, I wanted to add a little something. Then we already went through that side. So then let me see if I can show you the top. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I really wanted to use this butterfly paper. It's the one that has the big lady, you know, on the front, and everybody fussy cuts her out like crazy. I actually did on the last project that I did for Dawn. I fussy cut it out. But it has this big butterfly here in the middle, or in the corner, and I wanted to use that. So I cut out the other corner and fussy cut it and lifted it up. And then I used this gear for the body. And I put glossy accents on the entire gear just to hold it down really well. And then you can see there how dimensional it is. This is flat on the lid, and then this is the piece I fussy cut out and put on top. Then this is just a leftover gear that I had that I wanted to use up from where I had cut some of these others up to put in the corner. And then this is some more fussy cutting that I did from this front sheet. I was trying to get as much out of it as I could. I fussy cut those out and just stuffed them in there, rolled the paper up, and let's see what else. I think that's it except for this little section here. And this is Wild Orchid Craft, Wild Orchid Craft, Wild Orchid Craft. I think all these flowers on here are Wild Orchid Craft, even on the back. Here, and probably around on the back side, there are some more of those bead landing gears. I'll hold it up for you in a second. This little spinner piece right here that would spin if I hadn't got it too close to the flowers came from, I will have to look that lady's store up and put it in the link below. But she has some really cool stuff. And this is just a airplane propeller. And I have this piece stuck down in 2 memo pins. And the way I attached that was I bent them, glued them down, and then it made them shorter because I didn't want them really, you know, that long. And I didn't want to push them through the lid. So I bent them and just placed it in there. This is a cut. I was going to fussy cut, but I decided if I fussy cut, I was going to have something odd looking back here. So I just took one of the pieces from the, let me lift it up a little bit so you can see, from the tag die cut page. And by doing that, I knew that I would have another piece that would fit exactly that size on the back. So, and then right here, there's another one of those tiny light bulbs sticking out. Then if we go around to the back here, there's another tiny light bulb and a butterfly, another one of those flowers. And with this one, I actually had already went around the edges with that smooch accent ink, so I just left it like it was. And then here's another gear right here that you'll see. I'll show you in a minute. And then here's the back tag. So see, it was the same shape, so it fit right on there without me having to worry about, you know, how it was going to look on the back. And then you come right back around to the other side, and yeah, I was right, all of those are Wild Orchid Crafts. And let me just tilt this up. See, there's that bead landing gear. And then if you go back around to the front, I'll show you the other gears. See, right there's one right there, and then right over here's one. So this is kind of a hard project to show on camera. You know, I found that it was even hard for me to do photos of it because I just wanted to see everything, and you can't possibly see everything because of all the different sides. But that's my project for Dawn. If you have any questions for any products that I didn't, you know, tell you what it was, or anything that I did, just let me know. I'd be happy to let you know what I did. And I'd appreciate your comments and letting me know what you think. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.